Welcome to this video on Assume the Feeling, where we explore one of the most powerful principles of manifestation, the Law of Reversibility. If you've ever wondered how to take control of your reality and manifest your desires with certainty, you're in the right place. Everything in this world follows a law, an order. And one of the most profound laws in existence is the Law of Reversibility. This law states that if a certain event or circumstance can produce a feeling, then the feeling, when assumed, must in turn produce the event or circumstance. This is the very foundation of manifestation. If an external experience can create an internal state, then an internal state must be able to create an external experience. Think about it for a moment. When you receive wonderful news, something that thrills you to the core, what happens? Your body responds, your heart races, you feel a rush of joy, maybe even relief. Your mind shifts into a state of gratitude, excitement, and confidence. That external event produced a feeling in you. But now let's reverse it. If you deliberately assume the state of joy, of confidence, of gratitude, if you take on the feeling of the wish fulfilled, then by law, your external world must shift to reflect it. This is not just an idea, it is a fundamental truth. Neville Goddard taught that imagining creates reality. Your assumption, maintained, will harden into fact. There is no power outside of you deciding whether or not you are worthy. There is only your ability to assume, to persist, and to believe. Let's take an example. If suddenly out of nowhere you received news that the job you wanted was yours, how would you feel? Would there be relief? Would you walk differently? Would you breathe easier? That feeling is the key. The mistake most people make is waiting for the event before allowing themselves to feel the way they desire. But the law of reversibility tells us that if we can generate the feeling first, the event must come. Your subconscious does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. If you assume it and sustain it, your subconscious mind accepts it as fact, and the world moves to bring it about. The state you occupy internally is what dictates your external experience. This is why Neville insisted that you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Not tomorrow, not when it looks possible, but now, right here, in this moment. No matter what your senses tell you, no matter what your circumstances scream, you must return to the truth, that you are the operant power, that your assumption is creating your reality. It is the act of assuming the feeling that impresses your subconscious, and once impressed, the result is inevitable. So if you wish to be wealthy, assume the feeling of already being financially secure. How does it feel to know you always have more than enough? If you desire love, assume the feeling of being deeply cherished, adored, and chosen. If you long for health, take on the joy and vitality of already being whole. The outer world is merely a shadow of the inner state. Change your inner world, and the shadow must shift to match. There is no exception to this law, and your only task is to persist. Do not concern yourself with the how or when. That is not your responsibility. Your responsibility is to live in the end, to persist in the assumption, to feel the reality of your desire so deeply that it becomes impossible for your world to do anything but reflect it back to you. Right now, take a breath. Close your eyes if you can. Step into the feeling of your desire being done. Let the relief wash over you. Feel the joy, the security, the excitement. Let yourself dwell in it, not just as a fleeting moment, but as your dwelling place. Make this state your home, and as you do, know this: it is already yours. If this resonates with you, I encourage you to take action today. Do not wait for proof. Become the proof. Embody the end, and watch as your world reshapes itself before your very eyes. Leave a comment and declare it. It is done. Let this be your moment of transformation. Assume your desire fulfilled, and reality has no choice but to follow. Now let's go deeper into this idea. Let's take another example. Imagine you are seeking financial freedom. Most people look at their bank accounts, their bills, and they feel lack. They feel worry. And then they believe that only when the money appears will they feel relief. But let's reverse it. What if you assumed financial abundance now? What if you stepped into the feeling of total financial freedom before seeing any physical evidence. If you truly believed it, how would your actions change? How would your posture change? How would your inner conversations shift? You see, it is not about waiting. It is about being. The moment you shift your state, your world must comply. This is why Neville emphasized living in the end, dwelling in the feeling of your desire as if it is already true. Because if you can feel it now, it must become your experience. This is why I encourage you to practice this daily. Make it a habit. Wake up in the morning and decide to embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Carry yourself throughout the day in that state. If you catch yourself doubting, bring yourself back. Shift your focus. Remember who you are, the creator of your reality. Everything begins and ends with you, and this is your moment to take control. Declare it now, out loud or in the comments. It is done. Type it, feel it, believe it, because it is already yours.